Okay, well, welcome. I am so excited to be introducing my dear friend, Jasmine Erickson, and I'm going to spotlight us here. Jasmine is an incredible foot zoning instructor. And for those of you that don't know what foot zoning is, it's really such an amazing modality. It's like a window into your whole body, right in your foot. And there's a lot of things that you can do to help yourself, to rebalance things. And I honestly, the first time I had a foot zone, I was like, that person has like an x-ray in her mind. How did she know all those things? And so I was like, I must know more. So I'm so excited because Jasmine, again, is an instructor and certifies people in foot zoning and is so knowledgeable. And I am beyond thrilled because you're going to give us like a little crash course and empower us today to do a little bit of self-care for ourselves. Okay, so take it away, girl.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, April. I'm so excited. I get so fired up about teaching foot zoning. Honestly, it shocks me a little bit every time because I forget how excited I am. And then by the time I'm done, my heart's like pounding and I have to like take a deep cleansing breath so I can think straight. Okay, so like April said, my name's Jasmine Erickson. I have been foot zoning for about 6 years now, and I've been certified as an instructor for a little over 3 years. And it has been the biggest blessing in my life. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about what foot zoning is. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So I teach for We Do Feet seminars, and they have an incredible amount of students, graduates, instructors all over the place. They're actually starting to do online classes now, which I'm really excited about, which will be so fun.
Too. That's going to make it so much more approachable.
Yes, yes. So I get to figure out all the techie stuff. So pray for me. All right, let's see here. Okay, so what is foot zoning? You guys kind of read through this on your own, but basically what foot zoning does is it uses the different areas of your foot, the different reflex points and what are called energy meridians in your body to stimulate the other parts of your body, if that makes sense. So for example, I have my little porcelain foot here. If I said, oh, okay, I'm having knee problems. I'm like, all right, well, the knee's about right here. And so I'm going to work on this area. And it's going to stimulate the actual knee joint and put it back into a better state of balance. So one question that I get a lot is, what's the difference between foot zoning and reflexology? Which is a wonderful question because they kind of have the same origins. I mean, you can trace it clear back to ancient Egypt. They found, what are they called? The pictures in the tombs, whatever the right word for that is, in the physician's quarters of the physicians working on people's feet and on their hands. In almost every ancient culture, you can trace something back to working with the feet and using that to heal the body. So fast forward a little bit, you have reflexology, where they focus on, it's more like treatment specific. So like I mentioned the knee earlier, if someone's having knee issues, they're going to say, okay, well, here's the knee reflex point. I'm going to push that and ta-da, you're going to feel better. And it works for a little while, and it can be really, really beneficial. What I love about foot zoning, though, is that instead of just a symptomatic approach, it's a whole body approach. Because if you think about it, if you're having knee issues and you only treat the knee, that doesn't take into consideration how you're overcompensating when you walk, and it's going to throw off your hip. And when your hips are out of alignment, then your back is going to be kind of skewed, right? And when your back is skewed, then your neck is going to be off. And then you're going to start getting these headaches. But really, it all started with your knee. So if you only treat the knee, it's not a very long-term solution. With foot zoning, we get to treat the body in its entirety, from head to toe, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, the whole gamut, so that your body can function as a whole. It can work as a whole. It can work together. And honestly, what doesn't work better when it's balanced, right? Whether it's your personal relationships, your mental clarity. I mean, the list goes on and on.
And I have to say, the first time I had a foot zone, I slept the best night's sleep ever after that. It was
Yes.
phenomenal.
Yes. I always sleep really well. And I'm glad that you brought that up. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the common, what do you call them, benefits of foot zoning. And they're so different for everybody because our bodies are different and balance looks different for all of us, right?
Love it.
So when it comes to energy, everybody's familiar with energy in different ways. You have all sorts of different approaches and techniques out there, but really all energy it's like life force, right? There's energy in everything. There's energy in my flower. There's energy in the computer, in my table, in me, in you, everything. And so all it is learning how to feel that and to recognize that and allow it to kind of do its thing, really. All right. So benefits of zoning. April said one of them, which is so common, a really good night's sleep after. Because after we're going through the hustle and bustle of life, our minds are all over the place. If you're a mom, we're in a million places at once. And so it just feels good to like just kind of recenter, have that mental clarity and just sleep. It's so refreshing and we heal so much when we're sleeping. Release of tension, physical tension, emotional tension, releasing of toxins. It's incredible at helping your circulation get going. So diabetics like benefit so much from this. Helps boost your immune system, can help healing. And honestly, the list goes on and on. It's so different from everybody. So a little bit, just to help you understand how the foot zone works. Can everybody see like me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I want to make sure I'm not just showing things that no one can see. So take a look at this picture on the screen here. This is a picture of what's called the meridian man. So we have these meridians that run from the top of our head down at our hands and our feet. And they correlate to where different things are found on the foot. So for example, when I'm explaining to my clients how the foot zone works, I say, okay, so when I'm on, let's see, how can I hold this? On the outside portion of your foot, I'm working on the outside portion of my body. So you have your shoulders, your arm, your hip, your leg. And as you move towards the center of your body, the center of the foot, that's kind of where things are going to go. You're going to have your sinuses, your ribs, your eyes, your teeth. Move over to like the inside of your foot, you're going to be like the midline of your body, right down your spine. So that's where your spine is going to be. And my favorite part is the bottom. The bottom of your foot is where all the deep nerves, organs, tissues, just the really deep, good stuff is at. So just kind of a good visual. So, okay, this is where I was having some tech issues. I couldn't figure out how to make a little loop-de-loop line. Okay, so I'm going to be teaching you guys 3 different techniques, well, 4 actually. I'm going to try and squeeze another one in there. 4 different techniques that you guys can use on yourself, on your kids, your friends, your spouse, your family, anyone who will let you touch their feet, because we all need more balance, right? I know it sounds really weird, but just bear with me. So there's 2 different techniques and motions that we're going to use. The first one is called a walking drill. So what this looks like, it's literally just this loop-de-loop motion. Okay.
Maybe we can stop share and
oh, that's a good idea. Let's try that.
Okay.
Oh, I can't see my mouse. Can you stop share for me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, would you do that?
Yeah, I think. Actually, it's going to ask me to do it and then I'll stop share. How's that? There we go. You're spotlighted now.
All right. Okay. Oh. Techie stuff. Okay. So this right here, this is a walking drill. It's this circular motion moving forward. Okay. So on a foot, what that would look like, I like to use my thumb when I'm zoning most of the time. You can use your knuckles, but like it's it doesn't feel as good. Just make sure that you use like the sides of your knuckles, because you have a nerve that runs right down the center of your finger, and you don't want to damage that. So if I was on a foot, I would have my thumb and I do this little walking drill motion. Okay, so that's the first one. The second technique that we're going to use is called a drill. It's just this little spiral, just like you're drilling a hole. Okay, so what that would look like on a foot, you have your thumb and you're just going to put your thumb somewhere and just these little drilling motions. It's not very big, just putting pressure and just little teeny circular motions. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to screen share again. I'm going to teach you some awesome things. I cannot wait. All right. The first part we are going to do is called the lateral pelvic diaphragm. So the area that's going to cover, you'll see it right here on the screen. It's going to cover your leg. I'm actually going to stand up and show you. It's just easier to have a visual.
I like
this
it.
area right here. Okay. This is why I like in-person things. All right, so you'll see on this picture how the actual leg lays on the foot. So this right here looks opposite of the picture that I have. There we go. Nope, this one. All right, sorry guys. Can I keep my feet straight? Okay, so what you're doing, you have your ankle bone right here. The area, like the flat part of your heel, it's kind of like a little C shape right there. You're going to be doing these walking drills. You're going to be starting about here. Like you can feel like where the bone on your heel starts. If you're like, take off your socks, feel your feet if you can for a minute.
I'm doing it.
Appropriate where you are. It really helps. So find where that bony part of your heel starts on the side, okay? And you're going to be doing this walking drill motion, going down towards the bottom of the foot. You're going to be covering this whole area right in here. So what we're doing is we are pulling down and getting those muscles in your hips and in your pelvis to relax, because they get so tight, whether you're at a desk all day, whether you're standing on your feet all day. It takes a really big beating all the time.
It feels so amazing.
Yeah. And
We're going over a sock, but it's still amazing.
Yeah. One thing I want to point out, if there is an imbalance in your body somewhere, like in you're rubbing that area of your foot, it's going to feel a little bit tender. That's an indicator that something's a little out of whack. Okay. If it's like excruciatingly painful, you're pushing too hard. Okay. You don't have to kill yourself to have it be effective. A lot of people say, oh, I got a foot zone once and it was so painful, I'm never going back. You just need to find a different person. Okay. It's just a different approach, a different technique. So you're going to be covering that whole area, and you're going to be doing this on both feet. So the flat side part of your ankle, walking drill, covering this whole area, just really pulling down and relaxing those muscles. All right. Okay, so the next one we are going to talk about, let me switch slides here. Okay, is your brain stem. So who does not, whoa, that's moving all over the place. Who does not need help with their brain, right? I'm sure if you guys have been talking to April at all, she's educated you on all sorts of things nutrition-wise. And when it comes to toxins and byproducts and all these other things that we're exposed to, one place that they get stored a lot is right in your brain and in that brainstem that you have. So on your foot, the brain is your big toe, the bottom of your big toe. You'll see the picture right here. Let's see, I wonder if I can, let me draw. Okay, so this portion, oh, it's letting me draw. This is exciting. This portion right here, this is your cerebellum. So if you were, the cerebellum is the back of your head, okay? So what happens is when you have different toxins and byproducts, whether it's from food, topical things, just environmental exposures, medications, it goes and it gets stored in this brainstem and in the fluid in your brain. Okay. Ouch. So, what we're going to be working on is clearing all of that out, helping to open things up, helping the sleep center and all of the regulatory things in your brain to open up, to balance, to get cleared out, flushed out so that they can function more properly. So what you're going to do is you're going to start right where that star is, at the bottom of the big toe, right here. Okay. So it's going to be the center of the big toe right at the base. And you're going to do a walking drill up to about the center of the pad. Okay. So that's going up the brainstem, helping to open up and clear out any junk that has settled there.
Now, are you doing that on both feet, both toes, I should say?
Yes. Yeah. Everything that I'm showing you, you're going to be doing on both feet. Thank you so much for clarifying that. Okay. Trying to get it to move. There we go. Oh, goodness. Okay. So the next step that you're going to do is you're going to do that drill that we talked about earlier, right on the center of the pad of that big toe, just right there. Okay. You're just going to drill. So right there, it's your hypothalamus and your thalamus. And without getting into a big anatomy lecture, your hypothalamus is basically what regulates your body, your temperature, all sorts of different things. So anytime you can rub someone's big toe, you're doing them a big service. Okay. Things are going to start getting clear. They're probably going to sleep better. It might regulate their body's temperature, all sorts of different things. So really simple movement, just walking drill up the center of the big toe to the center of the pad and doing a drill right there. All right. Okay. So the next part that I'm going to teach you guys, this one is a game changer. Okay, so we all need a little extra stimulation for our digestive system. Don't you agree? We all have some issues of some magnitude.
Yes.
So I'm going to teach you guys how to work on the small intestine specifically to really get things flowing. So think for a second about some imbalances that you could have in your digestive system. It could be maybe you're dehydrated, so you're a little constipated. Maybe you're having an opposite problem and you just can't keep anything in. Maybe you have some blockages in there. Maybe there's lots of inflammation. The great thing about foot zonies, when you have this whole body approach, is that no matter what it is that the person needs, our intent and our purpose and the effective foot zoning is to bring the body back into a better state of balance. So as you're doing these signals and techniques that I'm teaching you, whatever it is that the body needs, that's what is going to happen. Your body knows what to do. It knows how to heal itself. We just have to get out of our own way, put it into a state of balance, and just let it do the work. So it takes a lot of pressure off of you guys, right? Okay, so what we're going to do, the bottom of your foot, remember that's where all the internal stuff is, about like the center of the arch. Let's see if I can turn this right way. So you're going to start about center of the arch right here, center of the foot, and you right where that star is at, you're going to do a walking drill down to the top of the heel pad right there. Okay, so what you're doing here is you're opening up, it's called the duodenum. It's basically the main pipe that carries everything down into your intestines. Okay, so walking drill from the center of the arch, center of the midline of the foot, which means the center of the foot, walking drill down to the top of the heel pad right there. So from there, so we're going to get to the small intestine itself. So general guideline, the bottom half of the foot, so from the center of the arch down to the pad, this area, this is where your intestines are at, okay? So anytime you can work on that, that's going to help stimulate things to get moving and to work and to balance out down there. So walking drills, again, just that, this motion right here, that top one. Ooh, that one. Okay. These loop-de-loop motions working down. So from the center of the arch, working down to the pad of the foot. You're just going to do that all the way across the bottom of the foot. Remember, you're doing this on both feet. Okay. So this is just helping to pull everything down because the exit point is down, right? If you think about the anatomy of your body, we're pulling things down so that they can get out, so that things can flush out, whatever it is that the body is needing to do. All right, let me switch screens here. Okay. Oh, good. We have 2 minutes. We're good on time. Fabulous. All right. So this last one is one I wanted to throw in here. This is honestly one that I would suggest everybody print out, laminate, put in your emergency kit, your first aid kit, whatever you have. This is a pretty, what's the right word? It's a pretty powerful treatment. So your vagus nerve is what controls, helps to control your body's entire nervous system. So whether you're in a state of rest and digest or fight or flight, or that like freeze, like panic and freeze, deer in the headlights, PTSD type situation. So what happens is, since we're all human, we get stuck in one or the other. You'll see people that sleep all the time and they're not very healthy because they're resting a lot, but they're not physically active. On the other hand, you have the people who just go all the time and don't sleep. And they're not very physically healthy either because they're not getting the rest. It's really important to be able to have that balance. And your body is actually designed to be able to go in and out of those states all day long simultaneously. So what this treatment does is it helps to kind of flip the switch, like reset the breaker box, if you will, to kind of put everything back at ease. So you don't really need to worry about which dot correlates to which thing. Just know that when you push these specific points on your feet, you're resetting your body's nervous system. And if you think about it, if you are in an emergency situation, let's say somebody was playing sports and got a concussion. After, you call 911, do all the like life-saving things, get on their feet. People are going to look at you like you're crazy, but I promise it can make a ginormous difference, and it can really help facilitate and speed up the healing process. So if someone's getting a concussion, if someone was just in an accident, for example, I had a client who rolled her car off of the road and didn't realize it, but she was in a state of shock so much that she got a different car and she drove to work that day. And she went about her day, and everyone's like, "Why are you here?" She's like, "Oh, I'm fine. Came to me a little bit later. I'm like, "I think you need a foot zone. Can I please work on your feet?" And I went and I was trying to do these points, and they just felt like nothing was there. Just kind of sunken in, there was no energy pulsing through that. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I think she's a little bit in shock." But I reset those points. A couple days later, she came back. She had kind of calmed down, came to the realization what had happened. "Oh, I think I was in shock," right? But because I was able to reset those points, the process sped up quicker. And next time I hit these points on her feet, it was a completely different story. Her body was able to regulate, and she could go about her normal life thinking clearly instead of in that panic state. So awesome. I hope that you guys will take advantage of this one and really just keep it handy. It can be a game changer for sure. So I know that was a lot of information thrown at you really quick. But April, you said we have some time for question answer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you stop share.
Throw it at me.
Okay.
Open book.
Well, thank you so much. And I just want to say that we're going to put the website to the school if someone wants to, learn more, be certified. It's foot zone's about 45 minutes. It is the most amazing 45 minutes of your life. And like I said, you feel so much better afterwards. And then if you have specific questions for Jasmine, if you're watching the recording, I'm going to put your social media there too, so people can message
Yes,
you and
please do.
get connected. Okay, so we will stop the recording now. Thank you, Isa, and go into our Q&A.